What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre games trailer. This completely flew by me yesterday when it was shown, and there's a couple gigantic details to talk about. So let me start with the big, huge things you should know, and then I want to talk about the itty-gritty because the game looks phenomenal. I can't even believe how good it looks, and I'm very critical, by the way, of these developers. But 2023... So it is next year. I thought maybe it could be late this year, but it actually is next year. It's on pretty much all consoles except for Switch, which actually is upsetting people online, which is understandable. But Xbox Series SX, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, PC, Steam, all that stuff. All right. So 2023, and it's on Game Pass. Now that's awesome. I mean, really right there, that solidifies I'm getting it on Xbox. There's absolutely no reason for me to pay if I already am doing Game Pass and have it on Xbox. So those are all fantastic things. Now, when we actually get into the game itself, I think, again, I'm surprised well, number one, visuals. Visually, it looks incredible. It actually looks, and they had talked about this, it looks about as good as you'd ever want. It looks modern in terms of graphical fidelity, right, in terms of how good it looks, but it also looks like it is made in, the 70 kind of vibe that, you know what I mean? It really, to me, has that vibe of the first movie. Now, one thing we were told is that this is not gonna be a Dead by Daylight. It's not gonna be a 1v4. It's not gonna be where there's less killers, way less killers than there actually are survivors, right? You think of Predator, you think of Friday the 13th, you think of Evil Dead. Evil Dead, the game, there's there's enemies, multiple enemies, but there's one person controlling them. This game, as we have been told, is 4v4. Now, that kind of terrified me, all right? I had said out loud, I don't know if that's going to actually work. Well, watching a 1-minute clip almost sells me entirely. Now, of course, I need to play it. But, I mean, it sells me entirely on, oh, my God, I think it's going to work. So you see different characters, right, in terms of the villains or the killers in this way. And you can see they each tend to have their own kind of ways of doing things, right? And then you see survivors. And what we know about this game, again, is it's a thing about survival. That's it. If you're the survivors, you're just trying to escape. It's in one kind of map, one big map, right? And again, I think this one trailer does a really good job. You see people hiding in, deep freezers. You see people kind of shimmying along walls. I mean, that actually reminds me of, The Quarry, which I just played, right? Where it's those kind of cinematic moments. But for this game, it's kind of just like a general thing. You see them get caught a lot in this game, right? Where there's a lot of injuries, well, actually, there are deaths. But, the one thing I still obviously am concerned about is because actually in this showing, okay, they show and they do a really good job, but it seems like the survivors consistently get caught. They show a couple times that there's a survivor watching another survivor die, but the key there is that they all die. We keep seeing death. So the one thing, I guess what this trailer has done is shown me that visually it can be very cool to have 4v4. There's obviously going to be different ways of going. I actually really like when the girl turns off the light. It's just like a lamp. There's just like a lamp there and she turns it off. I love that. So what I'm hoping for maybe is some of the villains, their eyesight maybe to be impaired where they can't see in the, you literally cannot see in the dark. Something, because I will stand very firm on that very much leans towards the killers in any game. Any game, it would lean towards the killer. So that's immediately, you have to find the balance. That's the most important thing with any game. Evil Dead is realizing this right now as well, right? All of these games realize you need the good, a decent balancing. You need to feel good playing as either side. If it doesn't feel right, then the game is really not going to last more than, I would honestly say, 2 to 4 weeks. That's it. If the game doesn't work after that point, it's going to lose so many of its player base. So for this, again, it seems to work. It looks like it works. The idea, though, how long do you have to survive? Where are you escaping to? Is there going to be any way of fighting back? Because it doesn't look like it. It looks like you're just hiding, right? Consistently moving from one location to the next. And you're going to have 4 different killers. So, what's their limitations? How much are we going to have to worry about each of them individually? And that kind of stuff. So, to me, again, I'd say overwhelmingly, it looks phenomenal, and I'm actually shocked about how good it looks. I didn't think it was going to look this good. And yet again, the worries, I think, are still there for me overall, where it's all right, in the 1.5 minutes, it looks like it works. But also, now that I think about it, I mean, every time the killer always seems to have won. You showed survivors running away from them, like going through the window. That's awesome, by the way, right? Doing these kind of very, I guess it just looks right. Like, it just feels right for these characters to do some of the motions that they're doing, or try to hide in certain areas, or jump through certain things. Like, it all looks good. But ultimately, is it going to be kind of an even playing field? What's it going to be like? So we'll see how all that stuff plays out. 2023, I'll be keeping an eye out, and of course, I'll be covering it to death, most likely. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up, and I hope to see you all on the next video.